The government reported that the number of young males who commit suicide each year in the UK had doubled over the last 10 years. In inner city areas, over 43% of children have considered suicide, and 1 in 6 children under the age of 11 have attempted suicide. Common causes cited include bullying, abuse, poverty, homelessness and alcohol abuse.
Sales figures! 400? What?
400.
What did you just say?
400 for this week.
That's all you've done for the whole week. Is that why you think I employ you? Jeffrey!
Yes, Miss Audrey.
Move your chair back here.
Yes, Miss Audrey.
Thank you. Right. What are your sale figures?
I don't...
The fear of criticism robs man of his initiative, destroys his power of imagination, limits his individuality, takes away his self-reliance, and does him damage in 100 other ways.
February 2008. A recent survey by the BBC found that 78% of employees had witnessed bullying at work. A Staffordshire University survey showed that 53% of all UK employees had been bullied at work. People changing jobs due to bullying. 3 million people will change their jobs this year as a result of bullying at work. The total cost to the UK government, £50 billion a year. Health campaigns have warned of the dangers of binge drinking and alcohol addiction, but social drinking has now emerged as a health risk too. More than 10 million people in England drink more than the recommended daily amount. Up to 22,000 deaths a year in England and Wales are associated in some way with drinking too much alcohol. That's twice the rate of 20 years ago. Binge drinking costs the UK government £20 billion a year. Is it any wonder that between 10 and 15 million people in the UK suffer from depression? The total cost of mental health problems in England is currently more than £77 billion a year, which is double previous estimates. The costs include NHS and private care for people with mental health problems. So, the total cost each year for the things we've already covered for the British government, £236 billion a year. And this cost is rising each year. We haven't even calculated many other crimes that cost the government billions of pounds. These statistics reflect what's going on in the UK, but all the countries of the world have some sort of problems one way or another relating to one or more of the crimes we've mentioned. So far, we've been bombarded by statistics, and they're depressing, but they are based on facts. So far, we've been dealing with all the problems, but what about the solution for all these problems? There is an idea that can solve most of the problems we've mentioned so far in this film. But first, you should know something about the man who's discovered this idea.
I first had the idea for the documentary 2 years ago, as I was approaching my 50th birthday. I was living in Jersey on a beautiful island, and at the time my girlfriend, a wonderful lady, I said, look, I'm approaching 50 years old and I think I want to do something for charity. So I suggested, because I had done boxing before, that I would do maybe 3 rounds of boxing. I had enough time to prepare myself physically. I already had the knowledge of boxing, but she remonstrated with me and she said, look, you're getting too old now, and so forth, and you can't do it, and you're going to get hurt and so forth. So I thought about it and I thought, okay, I won't do it. But something, I wanted to do this as a way of celebrating, as a way of giving something back to charity for being alive for 50 years on this planet. But at the same time, I did not sort of like forget that I wanted to do that. I wanted to still give something back. So for days and weeks and months, I would go fishing and relax and contemplate and philosophize. And suddenly this idea just came to me. And when the idea came to me, and the way it came to me and how simple it was, that was the shock to me. More than anything else, because it kind of narrows everything down to the basic seed of what we are, or how we develop our characters, or how we develop our personalities, and how we develop achieving goals, etc., etc. Everything is to do with this idea. That's the most amazing thing about it, and that's what amazed me the most.
This amazing idea does not ask you to give up your religion.
This idea doesn't ask what part of the world you're from.
This idea does not ask whether you're a man or a woman.
This idea doesn't ask if you're rich or poor.
This idea doesn't ask the colour of your skin.
This idea doesn't ask if you live in a tent or a house.
This idea encourages you to practice your human rights in the world.
This idea encourages you to excel in your personal goals in life.
This idea encourages you to have a better understanding of all the people in the world.
This idea encourages you to have more confidence in yourself.
This idea encourages you to be a better person.
This idea encourages you to relate to all the people in the world.
This idea encourages you not to be inferior or superior to others than yourself.
This idea encourages you to be proud of yourself and not to feel ashamed.
This idea encourages you that you can encourage others to do great things.
I've written letters to Gordon Brown, the Queen, Prince Charles. I have written to every director of children's services in the UK. Children's TV, the Welsh Assembly, UNESCO, European Union. We can change things, and we can change things for the better. The idea is actually for the governments to save money, because no government wants to have their prisons full of people. No government wants to talk about crimes that are being committed on our streets, domestic violence in our homes, lack of self-confidence, and all these kind of problems, bullying, racism, and it seems to be everywhere. It's not just, racism seems to go from local government to police forces to football. You know, it's just a widespread thing, and we can get rid of all this stuff. With this simple idea, we can get rid of all that.
Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you, and though they are with you, they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backwards nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark on the path to the infinite, and he bends you with his might, so that his arrows may go swift and far. Let our bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for as he loves the arrow that flies, he loves also the bow that is stable.
40-year plan affirmations. You are what you repeatedly do, so therefore excellence is not an act, but a habit.